Geldiniz, welcome, Ushamdi, Ahlan wa Sahlan. This is our third Ummah conference on behalf of CIGA and all of our staff. I hope you have a very comfortable next 3 days. We're going to begin now. My name is Louise Klein. I'm a researcher here at CIGA. I would like to first begin by orienting you to our campus and to our center. We are an independent research center that focuses on international relations in Muslim societies, and we are housed at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University, as you can tell. Sabahattin Zaim University is founded by one of the oldest and most prestigious non-governmental organizations in Turkey. Over the past decades, it has worked very hard in education and higher education as well. This campus is a historic place where great thinkers of our tradition, like Mohammed graduated. I welcome you all, and I look forward for the next 3 days. I would like to first begin by an introductory video on our center, and if you could please turn your attention to the screen. After that, I will invite the first panel. Thank you very much.
Research institution in the region in issues related to Muslim societies, the Muslim world.
Could we restart it, please, on the beginning?
Center for Islamic Global Affairs, CIGA, at Istanbul, Sabahattin Zaim University, started in 2017. Our mission is to be the premier research institution in the region in issues related to Muslim societies, the Muslim world, and its relationship to global powers and global affairs.
In CIGA, we successfully organized several international conferences, one on Palestine, two on Islamophobia, and two on Muslim Ummah.
CIGA conducts a very seminar series that cover many topics and hosts many important scholars from abroad. The topics cover Egypt, Kashmir, Iran, and Pakistan, and many more.
During our book discussions, we focus on trying to summarize, analyze, and present interesting titles in the recent years. We cover books that try to help us analyze the theories and methods in international relations.
At CIGA, we do summer schools every year. We have students from all over the world.
I attended CIGA summer school this year, and it was very valuable and important for me. As a political science and international relations student, the political courses like geopolitics and leadership development were so useful for me.
At CIGA, we have three main research areas. The first one is Islam and Muslim society studies. The second one is international relations and strategic studies. Also, we have Islamophobia and Muslim minority studies. Also, we have the strategies, which is occasionally published by CIGA. It includes all our workshops and seminars and everything that we are conducting in CIGA.
I'm working with one of CIGA's research groups on Islamophobia. Our goal is to produce research and academically contribute in challenging Islamophobia.
I would at this time like to invite our esteemed colleagues and professors for our welcoming remarks. Nasuh Uslu, Dr. Professor Nasuh Uslu, can you please come to the stage? He's the Vice Rector of Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University. Mohammed Mokhtar Al-Khalil, the Director of Al-Jazeera Center for Studies at Qatar. Dr. Louay Safi from the College of Islamic Studies at Hamad bin Khalifa University, Qatar, and Dr. Darrag, the chairman of the Egyptian Institute of Studies at Istanbul, in Istanbul, Turkey. I would also like to invite our director, Dr. Sami Al-Arian, who has been a gracious leader for us at CIGA. He has founded and formed our center. Before he came to Istanbul, Sabahattin, Zaim, he was a tenured professor at the University of South Florida. I know him from his days in America, where he led a very courageous and long campaign in a very difficult time against policies that were targeting minorities in the United States. He has been a source of inspiration for us young scholars in America. I'm glad that he is here at CIGA, and I would like to invite him to give his welcoming remarks to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Louise, and thank you all for being with us. This is our 6th conference that we've been organizing for the past 2 years, and I'm very proud of our staff for their hard work in putting this together. This is also our 3rd Ummah conference. This is becoming a tradition, our 3rd annual Ummah conference. The first one started in 2017, and the theme of that first conference was the Muslim Ummah synthesizing a new paradigm, analyzing modern challenges. And as you could see, this was a very broad theme, exploring the concept of a Muslim Ummah, what does it mean historically, as well as in modern times. And we explored many topics. One of the panels for that was studying fault lines within the Muslim Ummah. The second conference last year in 2018, we took that one panel and we expanded it into a whole conference. So the second conference theme was fault lines and perils in Muslim societies, and the sub-theme was the challenges of nationalism, sectarianism, secularism, and colonialism. One of the speakers, or one of the lecturers in the first conference was on civil-military relations. Just one, I remember that Darrag was presenting, with just one speech. Now we expanded that into a whole conference because of the importance of this particular theme. So this conference theme is the quest for democracy, examining civil-military relations in Muslim societies. And as you could see, this by the way, this was our 6th conference, but was the hardest for me to put together because it is so specific and really needed special scholars and people who are actually specialized in this. And thankfully, we've been able to do this. So we're going to have some of the best scholars in the field from around the world. Actually, we have people from 14 different countries, all the way from Algeria, Libya, Sudan, Ethiopia, as I said, Egypt. And then on the Asian side, we also have all the way from Indonesia to Pakistan. And from Europe, we have from England and Spain and France and Germany, as well as the United States, and South Africa, and I'm sure I left a few that I can't remember now, but you could see Norway. So you could see that we really got the best from around the world. And I'm very, very appreciative of their acceptance for being with us today, and also for your attendance with us. As you see, this is a very intense program. We're going to have about 8 different sessions in addition to the opening session. One will focus on Egypt, which will be this afternoon. And tomorrow we're going to have 3 other sessions, one on Pakistan, followed by one on Algeria, and then there will be an expanded session that will look at the transitions, because again, the theme here is the relationship between transitioning to democracy and the chronic problem of civil-military relations as it relates to our region and to Muslim societies in general. So we will have 4 different presentations, one that will focus on the transitioning from Spain and Portugal,
one in Latin America, one in Indonesia, and the last will examine the security coordination within the occupied territories between Israel and the Palestinian Authority. On the last day of the conference, on Tuesday, we're going to have a session on Sudan, we're going to have a session on Turkey, and the last one about the way forward, in which we'll also have 5 different presentations looking at different range of issues, including looking at the issue of human rights. So, as you see, very intense, very exciting program, and I hope you will stay with us for the whole 3 days. I'm very pleased also to have with us, among us, our co-sponsors and partners. We are very fortunate here at CIGA to have excellent coordination and cooperation and partnership with our sister organizations, and each one of them will give a welcoming speech. We have, of course, our university that has been supportive of our efforts, Sabahattin Zaim University. Our rector, Mohammed, unfortunately had illness in the family. He couldn't be with us, but in his place, we're honored to have our vice rector, Dr. Nasuh Uslu, who will give introductory remarks. He will be followed by the Jazeera Center for Studies Director, Dr. Mohammed Mokhtar Al-Khalil. Dr. Khalil is a long-term or long-time Jazeera director, as well as he has different positions within the Jazeera Center. You can see his bio in the conference booklet. He's been there for over 20 years, and he's been one of the pillars of the progress of this center to the point now it's considered as among the 5 most important research centers in the region. He will be followed by Dr. Louay Safi. He's from the College of Islamic Studies and at Hamad bin Khalifa University in Doha, Qatar. Dr. Louay also is one of the presenters, so he will be introduced more broadly during this session. And lastly, we have Dr. Darrag, who is the chairman of the Egyptian Institute for Studies. Dr. Hamad also will be introduced during this session. After that, unfortunately, one of our partners, the University of Denver, the director of that Center for Middle East Studies, couldn't be with us, but he sent a welcoming video, which we will see at the end. So it will be my honor and privilege to present to you Dr. Nasuh Uslu, the Vice Rector of Sabahattin Zaim University. Dr. Uslu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear speakers, students, faculty, guests, visitors, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. It is my great honor to welcome you all to the 3rd Annual International Conference on the Muslim Ummah, organized by the Center for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University. I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to our co-sponsors and partners. Al-Jazeera Center for Studies, Hamad bin Khalifa University, the University of Denver, and the Egyptian Institute for Studies. Your participation helped make this event possible. I also want to thank Dr. Sami Al-Arian, the Director of the Center for Islam and Global Affairs, for his hard work, dedication, and ongoing contributions to our university. This event would surely not have been possible without him and all those at CIGA who work tirelessly behind the scenes. Thank you all. Welcome to Zaim and what we are doing, especially with regards to graduates in political sciences and other fields of studies. Alongside the establishment of the Center for Islam and Global Affairs, CIGA is one of the great achievements of this university. Since 2017, CIGA has organized 6 international conferences and a good number of important symposia and seminars that have brought together scholars from around the globe to discuss questions and challenges that impact our world, especially the world that Turkey is very much a part of the Muslim world. We continue in this tradition today as we are joined by prominent scholars from across the Middle East, North and South Africa, the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, Europe, North America and beyond, to address a number of important questions. It is a pleasure to be in their presence. The focus of this year's conference is civil-military relations, a serious yet understudied topic of political science. The principal aim of this conference is to better understand the various roles militaries play within Muslim societies and what lessons we could learn from other experiences of military rule to successful transition to democracy in different regions of the world. Since 2011, we have seen just how impactful the military can be in many countries. Indeed, the influence of the military on state power, politics and economics in these societies cannot be overstated. The conference will endeavor to address these power dynamics in local and regional contexts by analyzing several important countries across the Muslim world, including Egypt, Pakistan, Algeria, Turkey, and Sudan, and Indonesia. Over the course of the next 3 days, our speakers will proceed in discussing several case studies that deal with the impact regional and international powers have on the role of military in dominating the politics of the state. Our hope is that the presentations and discussions at this conference will not only allow us to explore the deeper issues at stake in civil-military relations within Muslim societies, but also of the necessary futures for successful democratic transitions away from military rule in those societies. The panels will not only analyze these topics and present recent assessments, but will also attempt to present practical solutions to difficult challenges. We are truly privileged to have among us a range of thinkers, scholars, and academics who will help us navigate through a wide variety of problems related to the topic of civil-military relations. I look forward to a successful conference, and I thank you all once again for being here with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Dr. Uslu. Next, we have Dr. Mohammed Mokhtar Al-Khalil from the Jazeera Center for Studies in Doha, Qatar.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الأخ الدكتور سامي العريان، الإخوة الباحثين، الإخوة الحضور، الجمع المبارك الكريم، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وأهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا في هذه الندوة التي نعول عليها جميعا. عندما طرح علينا الأخ الدكتور سامي المشاركة في هذه الندوة تحمسنا كثيرا أن نكون حاضرين فيها لأسباب متعددة، أبرزها الإيمان برسالة المركز ورسالة هذه الجامعة، ثم الحاجة القوية والمضطردة للمنطقة في هذا الموضوع وفي بحثه بحثا علميا أكاديميا بعيدا عن الدعاية والترويج السياسي. سألني أحد رصناء الباحثين الحاضرين في هذه الندوة الكريمة عن ما الذي يشغل ذهني في المنطقة، هل هو العلاقات المدنية والعسكرية أم هو الديمقراطة من حيث هي آليات وتفكير ووسائل؟ قلت له يهمنا كل ذلك، فهذه المنطقة تعاني من غياب علاقة طبيعية بين المدنيين والعسكريين، تنقلب فيها السلطة رأسا على عقب لتكون بيد مجموعة يجب أن تكون في خدمة الجميع وتحت سلطة أخرى غير السلطة التي تحركها، وساهم هذا في تأخير المنطقة كثيرا. في القرآن عندما تحدث عن الرسالات السماوية قال الله عز وجل: لقد أنزلنا رسلنا بالبينات وأنزلنا معهم الكتاب والميزان ليقوم الناس بالقسط وأنزلنا الحديد فيه بأس شديد ومنافع للناس. فبينات الرسل والكتب هي التي تقود المجتمعات وهي التي توجهها، ثم تأتي السلطات التنفيذية. وأنزلنا الحديد فيه بأس شديد ومنافع لتكون أداة التنفيذ لازم تكون هي التي ترسم التفكير وتحدد العلاقات. لنا أن نفكر في هذه المنطقة بصوت العقل وبمنطق اللحظة، ما الذي نريده في هذه العلاقات وما الذي يمكن أن تقدمه علاقات سليمة وتختصر لنا الزمن. فقد تأخرت المنطقة كثيرا بفعل اختلال هذه العلاقة ووجود سلطة خارج السلطة وخارج القانون هي ما تجسد في انقلابات عسكرية وما تجسد في علاقات غير طبيعية مسيطرة ومصادرة للرأي العام في المنطقة العربية. وأجدد الشكر لجميع من ساهم معنا في هذه الندوة جميعا، أو على الأصح في هذا المؤتمر البحثي الرصين والمركز في هذه الأيام الثلاثة، ليست ندوة واحدة ولا عدة ندوات بل هو مؤتمر جامع. أجدد لهم الشكر جميعا، وأجدد الشكر لأخي الدكتور سامي الذي أتاح لنا المشاركة في هذه الفرصة المباركة. أشكركم جميعا على الحضور. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I will do a quick translation for those who don't have translation device. I advise for those because the next session there will also be some talks in Arabic, so you can check out and translation device. He welcomed everybody for being here. He said when I introduced the idea to them, they were very enthusiastic about participation for several reasons, because they believe in the mission of our center, as well as the necessity to explore this topic, which in an academic and scholarly fashion, because it is very important. One of the speakers, he said, asked me during lunch what I am interested in. Am I interested in the civil-military relations per se, or in democratization? I said I'm interested in both, because there must be a balanced relationship between and a natural and balanced relationship between civilians and military, and that the authority, the power should be in the service of all. And it is one of the problems that has engulfed this particular region in being undeveloped and in being in a chaotic situation. He said the Quran, this heavenly message, in the Quran it says that God has sent the book and the balance so that people could have justice, and then God has also sent Al-Arian, meaning executive authority, meaning power. And he said we need both. We need both guidance as well as we need a balanced executive power so that justice could be established and this area could be better governed. And he said that time is running on us because we need to address this imbalanced relationship between military and civilians, which has resulted into coup d'etat as well as unnatural relations. I thank very much all those who participated with us, and I thank CIGA for making this opportunity available to us to address this in not just in one panel, but throughout 3 days, and thank you for coming. Our next presenter is, and welcome statement, is Dr. Louay Safi from the College of Islamic Studies at Hamad bin Khalifa University in Doha, Qatar. Dr. Louay has a PhD in political science from Wayne State University. Long time ago.
Okay, very long time ago. That's true. Thank you, Dr. Sami. Assalamu alaikum all. It's my pleasure really to welcome you. On behalf of Hamad bin Khalifa University, we have been partnered with CIGA and Zaim University since the first conference on the Muslim Ummah. An idea we like, and of course all of us like, we would like to understand more what was going on, why the Ummah is facing with so many hurdles and how to overcome them. And this year, of course, we are under the able leadership of Dr. Sami Al-Arian, the CIGA has decided to focus on the question of democracy, the quest for democracy. And I don't think there's anything more urgent today for many people in the Muslim Ummah, in many of the Muslim majority countries than democracy. People realizing that they need to hold their governments accountable in order to have dignified life, that as long as the government is run under the whims of a few individuals who are quite aloof from the main struggle of the population, then there's no hope for the future. And that's why we have seen the escalation of these demands. Unfortunately, there are many hurdles, and I think that's where our role as scholars, as people who, intellectuals interested in Muslim societies, our responsibility to try to shed light on those hurdles. What is preventing us from, as Muslim societies, from becoming more democratic, where the government is more accountable to the people? And I think the nexus here of civil military is a quite interesting way to approach that issue, because definitely military rule has been the name of the game. And while Muslim societies have known military rule for a long time, I guess it's too long even, but military rule today is quite interesting. In many cases, it is the accountability of this military is completely outside the scope of civil society itself. It's somewhere else, and that means that people are the last thing to be thought of by people who are autocratically ruling the country. They have to please, the least to please would be the people, and they have sometimes to please outside forces that are responsible for providing them with the external support that they need to survive. And so, but of course, if we ended there, probably would have been missed the whole issue, because society has to be part of that transformation, and I guess that's where our role comes. Just to leave you with food of thought before I take my seat back, I mean, anyone who has read into historical Muslim society would have realized that those societies had a very vibrant civil society, many civil institutions, providing services on the behalf, I mean, not the government, but the civil society was providing services like education and healthcare, and building roads and providing relief to suppressed part of the population. Now here we are in the 21st century, and you find civil society almost non-existent in many Muslim majority countries, and that's where the question of what is civil society and what is this nexus and how to crack this perpetual autocratic rule in the Muslim world. With this, I would like again to welcome you and thank you for being here, and I look really forward to the discussion in the next 2 days.
Thank you very much, Dr. Safi. Our next speaker is Dr. Darrag. Darrag is the chairman of the Egyptian Institute for Studies. He holds a PhD from Purdue University in civil engineering.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Sami. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming. I would like to, of course, start by thanking Istanbul Zaim University and the Center for International for Islamic and Global Affairs for organizing this conference. And we, as the Egyptian Institute for Studies, since we were established, as our name tells, we have been focusing on Egyptian affairs. In addition, of course, to other matters. But of course, you cannot focus on Egyptian affairs without getting deeply into civil-military relationships. Or probably we can call it military relationships. There is no civil element anymore in Egypt. And we are not talking about dictatorship or just ruling the company by a bunch of military rulers. We are talking about swallowing the state. We are talking about a bunch of mafia actually controlling everything there. So this is actually developing dramatically as probably a new model. In my opinion, this is the most difficult model that we have seen all over the world of how a military regime can really ruin a country. And of course, since the Center of Islamic and Global Affairs was established, we have been collaborating extensively with it, and when Dr. Sami asked me if we were interested in in joining to sponsor this serious conference. Of course, I said, why not? We are going to get an extensive material in addition to what we are doing that will help us a lot do what we are doing. So, of course, we are looking forward to what we will be hearing from you. We are going to have a very interesting session on Egypt this afternoon. And, of course, talking about other experiences later on in the conference. Thank you very much again for coming, and we'll be looking forward to the activities for the coming 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Darrag. Now we have a 2-minute welcoming from the director of the University of the Center for Middle Eastern Studies at University of Denver, who couldn't be with us, but he is one of also our co-sponsors, Dr. Nader Hashemi. Can we have the video clip, please? Sound restart. Regardless how much you prepare, always have these technical problems.
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I'm sorry I cannot be with you this week to participate in your conference, but I would like to say that our Center for Middle East Studies at the Ladies and gentlemen, friends, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum from Denver, Colorado. I'm sorry I cannot be with you this weekend to participate in your conference, but I would like to say that our Center for Middle East Studies at the Joseph Corbell School of International Studies at the University of Denver is a proud co-sponsor of this conference. Congratulations to Sami Al-Arian and his team at the Center for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul Zaim University for putting on another important conference. It's not an exaggeration to say that these are the dark days of Muslim history. And I believe it is morally incumbent on all of us who deeply feel the pain of this particular moment to try and figure a way out of these dark days. And one way of doing so is to try and gather together as often as possible to have free, open, uncensored, and critical discussions and debates about the plight of the Muslim world, how we got here, and how we can chart a better way forward out of this darkness. And I believe that Sami Al-Arian and his team at the Center for Islam and Global Affairs have started something very important. This is the third annual conference. You're focusing this year on civil-military relations in the quest for democracy, a very important topic. I'm wishing you a very successful conference. I hope you have a very fruitful debates and exchanges, and I look forward to reading the final conference report. Best wishes, and I hope to see you next year. Assalamu alaikum.
Again, thank you very much. That concludes our first opening session. But before we depart, we'd like to thank our partners here and leave them with our award, which is basically commemorating this particular conference. So we're going to present it to them. Then I would like to get all our speakers and moderators on stage to take the official photo. And right after that, we'll start our session 1, which is basically the keynote speeches for this conference. And then that would follow with we'll take a break for about half an hour, be followed by the first session, which will be on Egypt this afternoon. That goes from about 4:30 to 6:30. And then we will have tomorrow 3 more sessions, as I said earlier, as well as on Tuesday.
Dr. Nasuh, on behalf of Dr. Balut, we'd like to welcome you and thank you. Dr. Mokhtar Al-Khalil. Dr. Louay Safi, thank you. And Dr. Darrag, thank you very much. I'd like to invite all the speakers and moderators on the stage for a group conference picture.